A very fresh morning to one and all present here. Myself Zainab Kalgi from Atmiya Green School, Jadeshwar Bharuch. We are back with English subject for class 8th. Today we'll begin with our periodic test 3. As you all have successfully completed your periodic test 2 exams, so from today we will start with our periodic test 3, that is unit 3, conflict and hope. So this unit, okay, section 1 is Pocahontas. So we'll begin with our unit 3, conflict and hope, section 1. Okay, conflict means problem and hope means when there is a way of something, when we have some notion about something will happen, the positiveness in us is called hope. Okay, so conflict and hope, they are both going together side by side. So let us understand how this conflict and hope are walk together from the section 1 Pocahontas. Before we begin about the Pocahontas section 1, let us first learn the early life of Pocahontas. Okay, Pocahontas was born in 1595 in Virginia. She was a member of the Powhatan tribe. Okay, Powhatan is a tribe. When she was only 10 years old, England came to America. She also loved to visit Jamestown, a town that England made when they got on their land. She made friends with them. The Powhatan tribe were fighting often when she was little. Moving forward towards challenges and problems, Native Americans, the English, did not get along as much as Pocahontas and John Smith did. Pocahontas' dad was going to kill John Smith, but she saved him by taking her body and covering his body with hers. She said that they had to kill her, but they would never kill her. So just we'll have a quick review of what this lesson consists, then we'll begin with each stanza of the lesson. Okay, these were the challenge and problem faced by Pocahontas. Special talents and abilities, Pocahontas could transform into an English woman that was pretty hard. She could save someone's life. She also could get along with the English people. These were the talent and abilities of Pocahontas. Okay, Pocahontas was a brave Native American woman famous for bringing about peace between the Native Americans and the English colonists who settled near their land. There are different versions of her story. This story is one way in which history remembers her. So, why is she famous? Pocahontas saved John Smith's life by covering his body with hers. She met the king because of the accomplishment saving John Keats' life. Okay, that you can see in the picture. Important people in her life. Talking about important people, the first was her father Powhatan, because he took a lot of care of her. He took a lot of care. Also King James, because he is a role model for her, and she met him in the year 1616 when she died. And last but not least, John Smith, because he was her best friend. So these were the two important people in the life of Pocahontas. Okay. Moving forward to contributions to society, culture and history. Pocahontas was married in the year 1614 to John Rolfe. Pocahontas now is called Rebecca Rolfe because she is now an English woman. In 1616, she sailed to England with her husband and son. She died in the year 1616 as she was sick. Talking about the character traits, she was brave because she saved John Smith's life, spirit because she has a mind of her own. She did not always do what other people wanted her to do. She always took a stand for herself, and she always did what her heart said what to do. So that was her character stress. Interesting fact about Pocahontas was Pocahontas went to Jamestown and found out that John Smith was dead. Pocahontas felt like she lost a good friend. The English settlers who arrived were the founders of the Jamestown colony in Virginia. In 1607, John Smith, the captain of the expedition, was captured. He was the captain of the expedition. In 1607, he was captured. Pocahontas saved his life, creating a friendship between the settlers and the Native Americans. Pocahontas' womanhood. In 1616, Pocahontas married an English settler who was a tobacco planter, John Rolfe. She also converted to Christianity, receiving the name Rebecca, as her name was Rebecca Rolfe later. Her infant son Thomas, herself and John traveled to England, and before the voyage back, Pocahontas got very ill and she died in the year 1616 only. She was also called Indian Princess. If it weren't for Pocahontas, Jamestown might have not existed. Native Americans and English settlers were bonded together by her, and if she hadn't done that, the outcome of their arrival would have been very different. Okay, so this was the summary of what we are going to learn today in the lesson Pocahontas section 1. So I request you to open up your textbook, page number 63 of your course book. Okay, Pocahontas was a brave Native American woman famous for bringing about peace between the Native Americans and the English colonists who settled near their land. There are different versions of a story. So let us begin the story. Pocahontas was the daughter of Powhatan, the powerful chief of the Powhatan Confederacy. Okay, what is Confederacy? Here, Confederacy means states, people joining together for a particular purpose. So for a particular purpose, when the states or people are joining together, then it is called Confederacy. So she was the daughter of Powhatan, who was a powerful chief of the Powhatan Confederacy. Okay. A large group of more than 30 Algonquian tribes. Now what are Algonquian tribes? And 25,000 members. Algonquian indigenous inhabitants of North America. So they were inhabitants of North Americans, we can say them North America. Okay, so these so a large group of more than 30 Algonquin tribes and 25,000 members. So he was a powerful chief of this confederacy. These tall and well-built people lived in the low-lying coastal regions of modern-day Virginia. So they lived their physical feature are they are tall and they have well-built physique. Lived in the low-lying coastal regions of modern-day Virginia. Okay. They built wooden homes, carved canoes out of trees, and used rocks and bones to make tools. The men hunted and fished, and the women farmed. Pocahontas, the favorite daughter of the chief Powhatan, did attract special notice for her beauty and liveliness, hence the name Pocahontas, meaning playful one. Okay, so you can see that the physical appearance they were tall and they had well-built physique, and they used to live in the low-lying coastal regions of modern-day Virginia. Now that place is named Virginia. So how do they used to live? They used to build wooden homes, carved canoes out of trees. They used to carve canoes, and they used rocks and bones to make tools. Okay, in the earlier times in the North America, they used to use rocks and bones to make the weapons and tools, and the man hunted and fished and the women farmed. So the man used to go for hunting using the rocks and bones as a tools for hunting, and they used to also fish, while the women used to farm. And the Pocahontas, she was the favorite daughter of the chief Powhatan, did attract special notice for her beauty and liveliness. She was very beautiful, Pocahontas, and she was very uh, a lively person. So her name means playful one. Okay. On 4th May 1607, the 12-year-old Pocahontas sat on a hill admiring the landscape lined with tall trees, lush meadows, and colorful flowers. As she gazed at the horizon, the azure sky, and the deep blue sea, she saw a huge ship with white sails. Excitedly, she ran to her father and brother with the news. So, what happened on 4th May 1607? This Pocahontas was just 12 years old. She was sitting on a hill admiring the landscape lined with tall trees. She was like admiring the beauty of the landscape, lush meadows and colorful flowers. So as she gazed in the horizon, as you can see in the picture, I'll show you the picture. This is the picture. So you can see the beauty. This is the picture. You can see the beauty, the colorful flowers and everything. And there, as she gazed at the horizon, the azure sky and the deep blue sea, she saw a huge ship with white sails. Okay, Chief Powhatan listened to the news but was not happy. Let us see why he was not happy. He said, "The white man coming is a bad news. There is no peace with the white man here." So that ship was filled with white men, and the white man's arrival is not a good news for their region. So if they arrive here, there will be no peace, said the chief Powhatan, the father of Pocahontas. Nantake's Pocahontas' 18-year-old brother was a sturdy warrior. He echoed his father's views. In the past, the white people killed many of our people to take our land. They are dangerous. So, she was having a brother who was 18-year-old. His name was Nantakas Pocahontas. Nantakas was his name, and he was a sturdy warrior. So he echoed his father's views that in the past the white people had killed many of their people to take the lands, and they are very dangerous because they used to fight and they used to kill many of people of their region. Nantaquas and Pocahontas paddled down to the bay in a canoe to find out more. On the ship, they saw a tall man with red hair and white skin. He was dressed differently too. So you can see that Nantaquas and Pocahontas, they paddled down to the bay in a canoe to find out more about the arrival of the white man. So what did they see on the ship? That they saw a tall man with red hair. You can see here. They saw tall man with red hair and white skin, and they were also dressed differently. Nantaquas Nantaquas turned back and informed his father. So he gave all the details of this person to his father. Powhatan consulted his advisors and medicine man. They concluded that white men brought with them problems. Okay, so they said everything about them, and Powhatan, the father of Pocahontas and Nantawas, he consulted his advisors and medicine man, and they concluded that the arrival of these white men are not safe, and they brought with them many problems. They had magical powers and thundersticks with which they could kill anyone with ease. So now these white people with red hair, tall mans, and white skin. So these people knew some kind of, they had some magical powers, and they even had thundersticks with which they could kill anyone with ease. They were there to take away their land, their lakes, their rivers, and their forests. So they had come here with the intention of taking everything from these people. So the arrival of them are not good and not a good omen. So they concluded this. The white man was Captain John Smith. His crew was happy to be in Chesapeake Bay. Now, what is Chesapeake Bay? An area in the U.S. states of Maryland and Virginia. So this Chesapeake Bay is an area in the U.S. states of. The white man was Captain John Smith. His crew was happy to be in Chesapeake Bay. So Chesapeake Bay is an area, here you can see the meaning, an area in the US states of Maryland and Virginia. Okay, so they wanted to establish a small settlement there, that they hoped to find gold and silver in the new world. So they had come here to find the gold and silver in this new world. They also hoped to find a shorter river route to the Pacific Ocean in order to trade more easily with the countries of Asia. The site chosen for the Jamestown colony was on a peninsula in the James River. Today, this peninsula had become an island. So now, this white man, his name was Captain John Smith, and his crew was happy to be in Chesapeake Bay, and they wanted to establish a small settlement here also because they hoped to find a gold and silver in this new world, and they hope to find a shorter river route to the Pacific Oceans where they could trade easily and peacefully. The site chosen for the Jamestown colony was on a peninsula in the James River. Okay, and today this peninsula had become an island. So here they had come here with the intention to settle here and to find gold and silver, to find river route, and many much more intentions. Okay, so this was a story of Pocahontas. We'll continue with the story in our next video. Till that, you can write the glossary words. You can give the heading Periodic Test 3, Unit 3, Conflict and Hope. Here you're having one starter, that is the homework. Read the following line from a famous speech and select the correct option to complete the sentences given below. That is on your page number 63 of your course book. That is the homework. We'll discuss that in our next video. And the homework is write the Conflict and Hope Unit 3 with beautiful handwriting, Section 1 Pocahontas, and write all the glossary words and learn it by heart. Write all the glossary words. Very few are there, only three glossary words are there. As we have discussed its meaning, write it in your notebook. We'll continue the story tomorrow in our next video. So till that, you can read the 2 pages of your lesson, and you can even read it further for the better understanding. Thank you.